Hey, shalom everybody, and welcome back to ReligionWinked Tea V. Welcome to ReligionWinked Tea V, where my spiritual ears stay. Hey y'all, welcome. So today we're going to talk about Hitler and not his extensive career and hate for the Jewish people over in Israel, or Jewish people, period. But I just wanted to mention Hitler to get into this Whoopi Goldberg story that is old tea.
But today
But
we're
we
gonna
gonna
sip
sip
it
it
like
like
it's
it's new
hot.
today, okay? Because you may not have heard anything that I'm gonna say about it, and I promise I'll try to keep it as brief as I can. So about 2.5, maybe 3 years ago, I had came upon this article where Hitler and some other guys were sitting in like a movie theater, and they were watching him, a documentary of him on screen. And just like here in this Inglorious Bastards 2009 deleted, extended, and alternative scenes number 3, well, he was holding a magazine. And basically, the magazine article that I saw, and it was from Timeline, Time Life, Time Book Magazine, Time something, 1936, 1938. Not so much him being on the cover, and it may be in that magazine, y'all. I cannot find it for the love of God. But basically, he was allegedly saying in that article that I physically saw and won't tell you any lie about, he was calling the Jewish people of the Holocaust, and probably all Jews at this point in time, but he was definitely calling the Jews of the Holocaust bastards because he said they are not the real Jews. This was Hitler saying this. Now, why he went on to go persecute 6 million people and so on and so forth is not this video, okay? But what is this video is a couple of weeks, maybe a month or so ago, Whoopi came out and said some things. So listen, before we go any further, guys, this is Films Is Now, movie bloopers and extras. I'm going to go ahead and subscribe to them. I'm going to go ahead and like this video. I'll show you guys a little bit of comments here. And you guys can, scroll through yourself and do whatever you like. Fun fact from Christina Savic. Eli Roth, aka Donnie, aka Bear Jew, directed the Goldberg movie in this. Now listen, as we journey through these tabs that I have open concerning Whoopi and Hitler and the whole, was she right? Did she say something wrong? Did she do something wrong? What is going on with people not being able to say things against Jewish people? They are not God. I know this story is written about some people that had a personal relationship with God, but I think we're overdoing it a little bit when we put all this time and energy into respecting one race, but then other races don't get the same respect from the people who want respect from us. So check out some of these comments and we are going to move right along. But this is what it looked like. This scene right here, except for Hitler was sitting on the right side, right? He had a book open. And it looked like he was sitting, if I remember, he was sitting in a t-shirt. So if anybody know this particular scene I'm talking about, and where he actually has a quote out there himself saying that the alleged Jews over in Israel, the Israelis, are bastard Jews and they are not the real Jews. Actually, the quote went on to say something that the original Jews are not Hamitic, but are Asian Oriental type looking Jews. And we all know who the 12 tribes of Israel with that Oriental, Aboriginal, indigenous look, right? Absolutely. You don't find that in the alleged Jews over in Israel today, calling themselves the Israelis instead of the Israelites. Now, moving right into this second slide, it takes a moment to come up, guys. That's definitely not it. We can go ahead and X that out, okay? It's about 39, 40 slides up here. Let's get right into this one, okay? So now this one, Adolf Hitler. Okay, so this is his Wikipedia. If you guys want to know anything more about Adolf Hitler, please go ahead and read through this. But again, there's a lot of interesting stuff to help you understand why he may have built up such an anger against Jewish people. Now, I've been talking to a lot of different people, and basically, Holocaust, transatlantic slave trade. I mean, hands down, both are very destructive mechanisms of other human beings using against other human beings for control, for power, for greed, for oppression, and some would say white supremacy, okay? But there's a guy, we're going to see his slide in a moment, and in the article, it mentions bastards, so I'm not too far off when I say that Hitler himself basically called people bastards and said they are not the real Israelites. They are not the real Jews. Remember, there was no J's, but they are not the real Jewish people. Old Covenant, Old Testament, Kingdom of Heaven, which suffered violence, and the violence took it by force. Some would say allegedly here, and I'm going to say me, that Christianity took the Kingdom of Heaven by force and turned everything over to a European Greek god named Jesus, okay? Away from the Messiah, the Yeshua, whom Paul says in the Bible, he had a vision from a Hebrew tongue. And we know at the time of Paul and the apostles and the Messiah, they were Hebrew, none looking European, Anglo-Saxon, Caucasian descent, right? So basically, here's some of the ancestry with Hitler. He was born in 1837. Oh no, this is his father. Excuse me. It tells you about his father, his mother, where he was born. Somewhere Austria. I don't want to speak on any of that because that's not what I'm here for. I just want to show you a little bit about this man named Hitler, and you can find this over here on Wikipedia. When I was reading through this, I didn't find anything too interesting to tell you about. I don't find Hitler interesting at all, period. I find him despicable, and just wicked. But it says here, during his dictatorship, he initiated World War II in Europe by invading Poland on 1 September 1939. He was closely involved he was closely involved in military operations throughout the war and was central to the perpetration of the Holocaust, the genocide of about 6 million Jews and millions of other victims as well. All right. And what I do know about Hitler when it came to the Olympic Games with Jesse Owens, I do believe, there was a lot of hoopla about how he shamed Hitler and how Hitler wanted him to kind of lose some races so that they could win. And basically, there's a lot of controversy about that going on, but that's not why we're here. We're going to move right into the next clip, okay? Now, I do believe Oh, this is it. Okay, so this may be the article where one of his henchmen, I'm not going to play too much audio. I will link everything down below. But I do believe this is the Time magazine did not praise Hitler with 1938 Man of the Year title. I don't know what they're praising him for and if he was praised for this or not. But what I do know is that he was on the magazine, and it may be this edition, y'all, that he was in. But it says the claim Hitler's selection as Time Man of the Year shows why the media is not your friend. Time magazine Person of the Year franchise began in 1927. Then known as Man of the Year, the first person to appear on the cover was Charles Lindbergh in 1928, following his historic solo flight across the Atlantic. Then it says a decade later, it was Adolf Hitler's turn. The magazine named the Nazi leader Man of the Year for 1938. Controversy followed and continues to this day. Quote, never forget that Adolf Hitler was Times Magazine Man of the Year in 1938. Reads the text with an image of Hitler in an August 16 post. Moral of the story, mainstream media is not your friend. That's why so many people are coming to YouTube and looking for journalists with integrity and honesty to report the news or give commentary on the news that's out there, because mainstream media has not been our friends, right? With so many misinformation on pandemics and, census and who's who in America, we have not been given the truth, right? So this article is out of US Today. It was pretty much published 5:20 p.m. August 19th, 2021, and it was updated on August 19th, 2021 around 5:23 p.m. Okay, and this is Nayeli Lomelli who wrote the article. The fact check Time magazine did not praise Hitler with 1938 Man of the Year title. So we're going to keep moseying on. We're going to keep moseying on. And we're going to eventually get to Whoopi. Now, here is the Jesse Owens piece, or a little bit of research I was doing. Basically, it says he and other government officials had hoped that German athletes would dominate the games. Nazi minister Albert Speer wrote that Hitler was highly annoyed by the series of triumphs by the marvelous colored American runner Jesse Owens. And at this point, had the Holocaust happened yet? And wait till you find out what Holocaust really mean, y'all. I'm telling you, these devils are always out here stealing from the men and women of God, right? So basically, you can go ahead. There's article after article. Was Jesse Owens snubbed by Adolf Hitler at Berlin? Jesse Owens versus Hitler wasn't the only story at the 1936 Olympic Games. How, with 4 Olympic golds, Jesse Owens ran Hitler out of his own habitation, okay? Basically, it goes on to say Adolf Hitler, Jesse Owens, and the Olympics myth of 1936. Did Hitler snub Jesse Owens at the Berlin Olympics? Which leader snubbed Jesse Owens? Hint, it wasn't Hitler. Alright, so you guys can have fun with that. I just want to show you that Hitler had his hands in a lot of things, okay? And a lot of people had a lot of differences with Hitler, controversy with Hitler, beef with Hitler, and I'm sure they despised Hitler just as much as Hitler despised them, right? So now we're going to be getting close to the Whoopi post because that's why we're here. But I just wanted to show you, we started off with Inglorious Bastards, right? And I showed you that he was sitting in the studio reading a magazine, watching himself on film, on big screen, right? And that's what he was doing in the magazine article, the Real Timeline, Time Life, Time Book magazine. I believe it was 1936 or 1938, the one where he may be on the cover. you will see the same scene from Inglorious Bastards. So being that I had that there in the beginning, I just kind of want to tie it in. It was a movie made about Hitler, made about taking down Hitler. Quentin Tarantino is the producer, director. He wrote the script in 1998, but struggled with the ending and chose instead to direct the two-part film Kill Bill. After directing Death Proof in 2007, Tarantino returned to the work of Inglorious Bastards. It's complex. It's a lot. A co-production of the United States and Germany, the film began principal photography in October 2008 and was filmed in Germany and France with a $70 million production budget. It premiered on May 20th, 2009 at the 62nd Cannes Film Festival and received a wide release in theaters in the United States and Europe in August 2009 by the Weinstein Company and Universal Pictures. All right, so it grossed over 321 million in theaters worldwide, making it Tarantino's highest grossing film to that point, until it was surpassed in box office by Django Unchained 2012 and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood 2019. We are going to end it there. I just want you guys to know that the plot is here. The cast, development, casting, but it when I was reading through and doing a little research, it is a pretty decent movie. You had the likes of Brad Pitt, Christoph Waltz, Michael Fassbender, Eli Roth, Diane Kruger, Danielle Bruhai, Till Schweiger, Melanie Laurent, and the list probably goes on and on and on. The film tells an alternate history story of two plots to assassinate Nazi Germany's leadership. One planned by Shoshana Dreyfus, that's Laurent, a young French Jewish cinema proprietor, and the other by the British, but ultimately conducted solely by a team of Jewish American soldiers led by First Lieutenant Aldo Rain, who was Pitt. Anyway, guys, go ahead and check this out. Again, a lot of it may give you clues and tie into why when Nick Cannon or when a Whoopi Goldberg say something, just say the word Holocaust, all hell breaks loose. But I'm going to show you how hell did break loose when they stole the word Holocaust from the children of Israel and God and turned it into this wicked thing of killing, murdering 6 million people and some other victims that report just said, and then title it a Holocaust. Well, here we go, guys. Let's get into this. Holocaust: destruction or slaughter on a mass scale, especially caused by fire or nuclear war. Gas chambers, boats, water, lynching. I'm just saying, right? Look at what number 2 says, y'all. Historically, the first people that ever had the name Holocaust and used it was in a Jewish sacrificial offering that was burned completely on an altar. And we all know who burned sacrifices on the altar to their God. Is it not the children of Israel called the Israelites? It's historical. This was done from the beginning of time. Once upon a time in Deuteronomy 7 and 6, where they say, God says, I choose you as my people. You choose me as your people, so it's a done deal. We've been offering a Jewish sacrificial offering that was burned completely on an altar. It is called a Holocaust to do so. So why would Hitler take that word? Why would they take that word from a sacrificial offering unto God, mostly and mainly, and attach it to murdering 6 million people? That's not a sacrificial offering. For the devil, it may be to have those many souls dead and gone. But unto God, that was not a Jewish sacrificial offering that was burned completely on an altar. Those people were burned in a gas chamber. And how do he come along like everybody else and take what was godly, what was good, what was once a Jewish custom to do, and now make the word Holocaust seem bad, vile, evil, and wicked? So when I started hearing reports about Whoopi being basically losing her job, being suspended for 2 weeks, when I read up on Nick Cannon basically, being ostracized and ready to lose everything in Hollywood because he claimed to be Jewish and the real Israelites and the real people of God, it makes me nauseous and sick to my stomach sometimes that we can't have this discussion without the Jewish people over there being offended. Is it possible that they have something to hide? Is it possible Hitler knew who the real Jews was and said, since you want to pretend and play and act like you are, this is what I'm going to do to you? For wasting his time. I'm only going off with spirit and recollection and just common sense is telling me right now. Damn, I wish I can get my hand on that article that said they are the bastards from Hitler's own mouth, y'all. And they're not the real people of God. And that the real people of God are Oriental and Asian when it comes to looking at us. For the most part. ABC News suspend the View host Whoopi Goldberg. Now, let's see if we can get a little bit. Let's see what she say, okay? Entertainment, educational purposes here. All right, ABC? Okay?
The co-host Whoopi Goldberg made some ill-informed comments about the Jewish people and the Holocaust. Listen to this.
If you're going to do this, then let's be truthful about it, because the Holocaust isn't about race. No, it's not about race.
It is. Yeah,
no, it's about
a different race.
But it's not about race. It's not about race.
What is it about?
Because it's about man's inhumanity to man.
Oh,
that's what it's about.
But it's about
that's why she got that's why she got suspended for 2 weeks, because anytime you say man is inhumane and cruel to another man, it's like, oh my God, who would do such a thing? Who would treat people so cruel? Was the Holocaust really about race? And if it was about Hitler getting his hands on the children of Israel. And if you want to go out there and allegedly steal somebody's identity, then you may suffer what he had for someone else. Is that making any sense, y'all? So we was like a double whammy. If he knew and could have probably found us, because y'all had us hidden, remember, he probably would have did the mass murder of destruction, man to man, is so unjust. Man to man is so unjust. You know that Bob Marley song? That's what it's about, Whoopi. And of course, people will say, oh, it is about race. Yeah, the children of Israel. God says if you bless us, he'll bless you. If you curse us, he'll curse you. And a lot of curses have came upon people because they're pretending to be us. And they're not right standing with God. They are not the original people. So perhaps that's why war keeps going on in the land. I'm just saying, she said it's not about race, y'all. It's about power and control. It's about being inhumane. It's about who can conquer the land. It's about who can stand tall over other people, put fear in other people, be barbaric, inhumane, cruel, disgusting. CNN Business. Now, they're not disgusting. ABC News suspended The View host Whoopi Goldberg for 2 weeks on Tuesday. Now, this article was published February 2nd, 2022, okay? I'm not always on time with the news, but I make it newsworthy for you, all right? So, it says hours after she apologized for having falsely declared on daytime program that the Holocaust was not about race. First of all, why is it called the Holocaust? I just proved to you Holocaust means a sacrificial offering burnt on the altar to God, right, by fire. So why are people calling the murder of millions of people a Holocaust? If that's not mocking God, I don't know what is, people. And I'm downright sick of it. They said in a statement, ABC News President Kim Godwin bluntly described Goldberg's comments about the Holocaust, which were made on The View Monday, as wrongful and hurtful. Is what Hitler did to people wrongful and hurtful? Is with the American government, they just look the cousins of Hitler. Is it not wrongful and hurtful? Why is it every time everybody else gets spoken against wrong or harmful or done wrong and harmful, the whole world has to stand up and support them? But when black people have an issue, y'all turn the other cheek like in Christianity and don't pay us no mind until it come time to vote and you need us to get you back in your position. Sick of it, y'all. So sick of it. Wrong and hurtful. Wrong and hurtful. So, quote, while Whoopi has apologized, I've asked her to take time to reflect and learn. How come they don't have to take time to reflect and learn the abuse, the wrong and hurtful treatment that they have done to black people? Now, it is brought to my attention Whoopi identifies as a Jew. I don't know if it's white Jew or black Jew. All I know, she identifies as a Jew. So she has a right to speak on this. And I agree with her. It was not about race. It was about people stealing other people's identity and trying to fool the world. And Hitler was smart enough to pick up on some things and knew that certain people living as certain people weren't those people. And they pissed him off. He got angry. People like Hitler don't like to be deceived or don't like to be, a laughing stock or a mockery, but they want God to be mocked, right? So she has to take time to reflect and learn about the impact of her comments. What about the impact of their actions? The entire ABC News organization stands in solidarity with our Jewish colleagues, friends, family, and communities. Do they stand in solidarity with Whoopi, who's been on that show for how many years now, bringing in record numbers and views and money and clicks and clout and all that other stuff? They don't stand with Whoopi? Is it because of race? Or is it because she made these comments that are really true, but prick the devil in his tail or prick the enemies thereof that don't want the truth to come out? So when little truth like this comes out, And it's not really little. It's really big, y'all. What she said was very profound. And if black people period, would have just got behind her, we would see some exposing going on today, right? But the only thing we see is Miss Goodwin exposing Whoopi with the fact that she need to reflect and learn about the impact of her comments. And that they're not standing with Whoopi. She may be on this show, but you better you better know that they are looking at her with the side eye, okay? So, Godwin told staff in an internal email, which was obtained by CNN, that decisions over disciplinary matters are never easy, and Godwin said that she appreciated Goldberg's apology. Hell, I live for the day when y'all apologize to us. I live for the day when a rabbi, a teacher, a converted one, I don't care, will stand up. Most rabbis, there are some Jewish people coming out saying we're wrong. It's not us. It's always been you. We just went along to get along, just to belong for the coin. We wanted to be those people the Bible talked about and the world was so amazed with. I'm just saying, y'all, I have to speak from my perspective. I used to be a black woman, still am, reading a Greek Bible, still do, serving a white Jesus. And that's been censored out of my life. I no longer worship a white Jesus, okay? So the confusion of who and what we're supposed to be is all based off of people living in Israel under the wrong identity. Let's start there. Can you apologize for that? And I've had said in teachings, people at that Wailing Wall putting prayers in there. One, it's not biblical, but you can do any kind of inheritance or culture you want to do. Why aren't they still practicing the Holocaust? Why aren't they still offering sacrifices unto the Lord as the historical definition told us, right? Why are they at the Wailing Wall? And I've always said, pleading for God to forgive them. And I would be doing the same thing if I knew I took on a position in a role that wasn't necessarily mine. So Goldberg first drew backlash on Monday morning when she insisted that the Holocaust was not about race, but rather man's inhumanity to man. And that's what it all boils down to. The Spanish Inquisition, the call to become a Christian, the transatlantic slave trade, the ongoing mistreatment of people here in America and around the world. See, the Holocaust as you know it today, remember, I just told you what it was prior to Hitler taking the name and attaching it to something wicked he did. Like a lot of God's things, they have took and attached it to the wicked and the wicked people of the world. But it's all about man's inhumanity. I always say inhumane and cruel punishment and treatment to other people. That's what it's about. They don't give a damn what color you are, as long as they could be mean to you, put fear in you, and cause you to walk away from your inheritance and your land and your relationship with God. That's all that matters to them. And if they have to use the weapon of mass destruction, which is man on man brutality, man on man humanity, how do you think these people are dying? At the hands of another man, women and or people thereof. Stop being ignorant, people. Why would a white man named Hitler want to go around and kill other white people that's pretty much related to him and come from the same geographical location? That's not race, y'all. It had a lot to do with the children of old, the children of Israel, leading up to 1948 when they took over the land again. Now, later on, the Late Show with Stephen Colbert, she went on the Late Show with Stephen Colbert, where she attempted to explain the rationale for her comments. Hopefully, I did a pretty good job for you over here, Whitney. Whoopi. Whitney trying to channel something to me, y'all. I don't know. I don't speak to the dead. I'm not a necromancy, okay? I speak to the spirit. So that I don't know where that came from, Whitney. What you know about it, Whitney? Girl, tell us something from beyond the grave, okay? Now, all jokes aside, where she attempted to explain the rationale for her comments, what is there to rationalize? The woman said it's not about race. One, it should not have been offensive to anybody. Remember, the Messiah said, woe to the man the offense come through. Okay, so maybe this will help people stop being offended, all right? Especially the Jews, whom the whole world backed for some strange apparent reason. But they're the most offensive people I've seen in all these last days, okay? And maybe if they read some of the New Testament, they wouldn't be so offensive. Because over there, the Messiah, whom most of them don't even believe in, right? Basically said to two of John's disciples, when John sent two of his disciples to the real Messiah, asking them like, yo, bro, what's up? This was the Messiah's response. Well, partly, okay? Woe to the man that take offense of me. Whoa, that's what I just want to say to one of the rabbis. Why y'all so offended and why you take offense of me? Glory be to God, y'all. And the disciples of John shewed him of all these things. And John, calling unto him two of his disciples, sent them to Jesus. You didn't know John had his own disciples, did you? Saying, he actually sent them to Yeshua, okay? The Hebrew tongue that Paul said he had a vision from. Oh, God. Y'all ain't been listening to the morning read? That's why y'all so offensive and offended and on the offense out here, okay? Art thou he that should come? Are you the one that John's been preaching, make straight the way? I'm not worthy to untie his shoe latches, right? Or look we for another? See, y'all always looking for another when you have the real thing right in front of you, huh? They standing there talking to the Messiah like, are you that guy? See, what it was, John was in prison being accused of whatever, right? Y'all know the story. Herodias, Herod. Anyway, he heard of all the great things the Messiah was doing. The Lord's work. Opening blind eyes. Healing blind eyes. Opening deaf ears. The Spirit of the Lord is upon me to set the captive free. You know? Isaiah 61, 1 through 3, right? And John got a little jealous, like most people do of the Messiah and the people thereof, right? Get a little jealous, right? So he sent his disciples to the Messiah. And they're having this conversation. And it goes on to say, when the men were come unto him, they said, John the Baptist hath sent us unto thee, saying, art thou he that should come? John spent how many days in the wilderness preaching, make straight the way? He don't know in the spirit who is who. See, that flesh will deceive you, right? That mindset, that carnal mind will begin to deceive you in jealousy, and when you become offensive, you no longer see the Messiah, right? Can I preach this thing for y'all tonight? Yeah, it is about 6:53 p.m. East Coast time on March 5th, 2022. All right? So people will get offensive, get very jealous, very ignorant. They walk with the Lord. They talk with the Lord. Hell, Lucifer was up in heaven with God. and ignorance, greed, being offended because he couldn't come down in the flesh and be Yeshua, be the Christ. So he said, I'm going to be God of this world. Catch that on spirit now, all right? He took it. They told Paul, you can't be an apostle. Paul says, I'll be one for the Greeks. We'll make our own church, damn it. We'll be the children of disobedience that Ephesians 2 and 2 talk about. Satan is the prince of the air. It says somebody the prince of the air in Ephesians 2 and 2. But it says in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 4 and 9. A little calm right now. Let me go ahead and read 2 Thessalonians 2, chapter 2, verse 4 through 9. The King James Version. Okay? 4. Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, shewing himself that he is God. Now who does this? Who does this? Who get more praise in this world than God? 5. Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things. 6. And now ye know what withholdeth that he might be revealed in his time. Who is going to be revealed in his time? I'm coming to join you, honey. 7. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who knoweth, who now letteth, will let, until he be taken out of the way. 8. And then shall the wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. 9. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan. Who the hell coming after Satan and the working of Satan? Was it not Paul, the Christian's church, Silvanus, Cephas, Apollos, Timotheus, hell, Paul even said his mama and Timothy mama was down with the nonsense. Have you not read your Bibles? Who is coming after the working of Satan? The lawless men and women of this world, with all power and signs and lying wonders. Who are the liars of this world? Those that's being offended when Whoopi Goldberg says it was not about race. Are y'all following me today? God have mercy that the lawless people oppose themselves against God. Was John the Baptist becoming lawless in prison? Most people we know today go to prison and become righteous, allegedly, right? But in John the Baptist days, baby, they went to prison and it's like all of a sudden they lose their godliness, right? Their power that worketh no more. They seem to be godly, but they ain't, right? Because now they're questioning the Messiah. Who are you? John, you baptized me in the Jordan, the Messiah is saying. You don't know who I am? No, it don't say that in Luke 7:18 through 23. But my spirit is bound to jump up and say any dang on thing it wants to, because this Bible says, vex not the spirit. So why are the Jews in Israel always trying to silence somebody? Do they not know the Bible say, vex not the spirit of God? Some things you just can't shut up in this world. Because the Messiah said in John 12:30, this voice is not for my sake, but for your sake. I said, oh, hell, give me that voice, Lord. Nobody else want it. I do. And unfortunately, it don't sound like your white Jesus. Unfortunately, it don't sound like your church. So they say, John the Baptist have sent us unto thee, saying, art thou he that should come? All questions. Or should we look for another? And in the same hour, he cured many of them. He cured, he healed, he cured, he healed many of their infirmities and plagues and of evil spirits. Hell, I did a video not too long ago on seizures, asking can they be demonic, because Christ says, come out, you unclean spirit, when the young man had lunatic and was seasoned in the Bible. And apparently I lost a subscriber because of that, and it may very well be the same lady that had a seizure online on YouTube. I didn't deserve that. People say they're Christians and spiritual and they don't read the Bible. They don't know this stuff is in there. Then when old Ragtail tribe like ReligionWinked Tea V come through and say, hey, it's an unclean spirit, possibly. Let's look at it spiritually from the perspective and the eyes and the perception of the Messiah. And let's try to deal with some of these things. Big Pharma and everybody else in the medical industry want to feed medication. Some of these unclean spirits need, but by fasting and prayer, to be rebuked, called out, identified as so. And I'm telling you, it'll help us, y'all. And not too shortly after I did that dang on video, my son-in-law, my grandchildren's father, suffered 2 seizures in one day. A month after he suffered one, 2 days after his son was born. Are y'all with me? Are you listening? And of evil spirits, and unto many that were blind he gave sight. Then the Messiah answering said unto them, go your way, move your blood clot. Go on, man. Who you think y'all bomba clot talk to? Now, I don't know if he said all that. I can't speak Aramaic, but them Jamaicans over there sound like it's just similar and close to it. You know, it sounds like a little Hebrew. Underlining, that little English over there, but the colonizations of us all. But it's an Aramaic, it's a Hebrewic voice that I hear when I say these things. Okay, so now listen. He said, "Goya bomba clad away, man. Move yourself. Go on, man. Skedaddle, skedoodle." Kit and caboodle your ass on out of here. Alright? He said, go your way and tell John the Baptist. Tell John, what things have you seen and heard? How that the blind see, the lame walk, the lepers are cleansed, the deaf hear, the dead are raised. Oh, kalabasi shata kalabase. Glory! To the poor the gospel is preached. And blessed is he whosoever shall not be offended in me. I love the verse that says, woe to the man who shall be or take offense in me. And there's a lot of offended people in this world because of me. Not even the Messiah. Because that voice is my voice. My voice is not for my sake, but it's for yours. John 12:30. Now, and the disciples of John shewed him of all these things. And John, calling unto him 2 of his disciples, sent them to Jesus, saying, art thou he that should come? Or look we for another? When the men, Holy Spirit said, the people in Israel are offended of the Messiah. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Oh, they are offended, y'all. Oh, that's a whole nother teaching spirit. So, art thou he that should come? Or look we for another? When the men were come unto him, they said, John Baptist, y'all call him John the Baptist, maybe they left out the here, have sent us unto thee, saying, art thou he that should come? Or look we for another? And in the same hour, y'all, He cured many of their infirmities and plagues, and of evil spirits, and unto many that were blind he gave sight. Then the Messiah answered and said unto them, you see how he tended to his father's business, then addressed the devil afterwards? See, a lot of y'all want to address the naysayers and the antagonizers and the people that doubt you and are offended by you. But he addressed his father's business. And I don't know how long that took, y'all. Could have been some years. Then he looked at John the Baptist's disciples and basically said unto them, go your way and tell John what things you have seen and heard, how that the blind see, the lame walk, the lepers are cleansed, the deaf hear, the dead are raised, to the poor the gospel is preached. And blessed is he whosoever shall not be offended in me. You go tell John the Baptist, why is he mad out here? I'm opening blind eyes. I'm healing deaf ears. Healing blind eyes, opening deaf ears. I'm out here doing what I was called to do. Whoopi is out here doing what she was called to do, but maybe being on a racist program like The View, you know, she need a job. She couldn't really be that Jew woman she really want to be. She really can't voice her opinion the way she really want to do it. And then when somebody has an opportunity to say, how many words? Not about race. It creates a pandemonium of inhumanity, of inhumane men and people around this world, fearful that their structure, their lies, their deceit, their deception is all gonna come out behind 3 words, not about race. Some people would say the transatlantic slave trade was about race. I say it was more about spirituality and them knowing that we were the people of God. We were the house of Judah, people of God. Because remember, 9.5 tribes went to the north. So they didn't even suffer with the 2.5 tribes that ran down and went down in northern Africa, West Africa. Suffered, right? And until this day, if you try to make a case that the alleged Holocaust, remember, it was just straight murder. They took the word Holocaust, which was a Jewish sacrificial offering unto God prior to all this coming about. They would tell you that the Holocaust, as you know it today, was the worst thing that ever happened to mankind. And I can tell you and bring receipts from the days of Pharaoh until now, people have not stopped suffering. So this story goes on to say, but what she said on that show only exacerbated the situation. I don't know what she said on Stephen Colbert's show, but anytime a black person say anything speaking against a Jew, speaking against the alleged Holocaust, speaking against anything to do with God and the original people, things will get exacerbated, taken out of context, controversy, and somebody gonna lose their life, somebody gonna lose their livelihood, somebody gonna lose their right to speak, somebody is gonna get censored. And that's how you know the devil, the enemies, don't want their truth out, because the more they censor you, the less you can put out there. Hence why I only get 2 or 3 views over here. Thank you, YouTube. Thank you for letting me use your platform. I do appreciate it. So, but later Monday night, as the controversy grew and continued to grow, Goldberg issued a written apology. In it, she says she erred in her remarks and understood why they were wrong. And once again, like a dog tucking your tail, burying your head in the sand somewhere like an ostrich, or doing whatever, you just run away from the well-needed conversation that the white Jews and the black Jews need to finally have. And if you're not going to be that kind of leader, whether it's Nick, whether it's Whoopi, or whoever else, the Jacksons, the Sharptons, the MLKs, anybody else, Malcolm X, anybody that led us, the 100 pastors that went to the White House, until you take the truth of God with you, you're all going to be just passively sitting back saying, well, I'm glad I got a job. I'm glad I'm alive. I'm glad I'm this. Tucking your tail, allowing the devil to have victory, win after win after win. Who are these people that you can't look them in the tail? Because remember, the seed of the woman crushed the head of the serpent, and our heel is bruised by them. You can't look them in the tail and say, wait a minute. But it wasn't about race. Why can't we explore that? Why can't we go deeper into it? Why do we gotta nip it in the bud, reflect and learn, be treated like little children, for them to pat us on our freaking back and say, well done, my good and faithful servant? That's God's job to do. It's not for any other man to belittle you and humiliate you like you're a child. Quote, I'm sorry for the hurt I have caused. No, you hurt God more than you hurt the people. God is looking for some people, Whoopi, to stand up and tell the damn truth. And every time we do, they want you to go reflect. They want you to go to their training. They want you to go to their schools. Haven't we had their education, their Jesus, their way of living for over 500 years in America? And where the hell has it gotten us? If they sat down and learned of the truth, maybe they wouldn't be running around here trying to shame people to shut the hell up so their lies don't be exposed. I'm sick of this, y'all. Hours later, Goldberg opened up Tuesday's episode of The View, offering yet another apology. So here's why you should not make an apology. Psalms 23 says, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Now, this dang old Bible do not say you will dwell in the house of bondage forever. This Bible do not say you will dwell in the blood of Jesus forever. This Bible does not say you will dwell in Egypt forever. This Bible does not say you will dwell in America forever. Oh, this Bible don't say that. And contrary to popular belief, I can talk soft, sexy, and quiet. I just feel like when I get online on my platform, I'm in character. This is my character. I'm backing the devil down over here. I'm building up my courage to face off with the tail of the enemy. Because his head is crushed. He have no reason leading the world. Being cruel and inhumane. Whoopi done stole she don't watch my content, y'all. Y'all know I've been saying for years they are cruel and inhumane. And Psalms 23 is letting us know that we have no reason being out here, being led like sheep to the slaughterhouse to be slain, when the Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me besides the still waters. He restoreth my soul, not no other man, race, ethnicity, or any other thing. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake, and not that of any other name other than the name above all names, and that name to me is Yahweh, Yeshua, Holy Spirit, children of Israel, the Israelites. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, because they won't cease and desist from killing me, dear Lord. And my people, your people, I will fear no evil. For thou art with me, oh, the Lord of the living Lord of all, the Lord of all lords. How the heck David say it when he slung that slingshot and that stone at Goliath, the Lord of the living? And y'all in Christianity want the Lord of the dead. Oh, God have mercy today. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Oh, God have mercy, y'all. I'm feeling this one. Thou preparest the table before me in the presence of my enemies. Not another man, soul whose heart may be just as wicked, because the Bible says your heart is continually evil all the day, or more wicked than mine's is, will ever prepare a table for me, take my table from me, break bread with me at my table. But God Almighty shall prepare one for me in the presence of mine enemies. And black people, you don't give them an opportunity to do that. You keep letting the enemy put the table on your backs. Thou anointest my head with oil. See, a lot of y'all need something else to anoint your head with. But baby, when the Lord anoints your head with oil, you'll never be dry or go bald. I don't know. My cup runneth over. It's not half empty. It's always half full, y'all. We got to get it to full over here, okay? We got to get it to full. God ain't make no mistakes when he put me in this earth. Trust me. He knew exactly what he was doing. I got a little note over here, I believe, or I might have threw it away. It said, God and my mama played a trick on me, or I played a trick on God and my mama. Me and God played a trick on my mama. It's something like that, y'all. Somebody done played a trick on somebody. See, the enemy thought I was going to be a man child. They threw him off with the name Dru, the spelling thereof, right? And I slid in. Oh, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me, y'all. Through all the persecution I've been through, how do you say through it? Oh yeah, you know how in the Bible it says continueth, like an ongoing continuation. Baby, surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. And I will dwell in the house of the Lord. Why? Because I delight myself in the Lord. And he will give me and you, and he would have gave it to anybody else. They didn't have to steal this thing from God or God's people. The desires of your heart. If you want to be God's people, you don't have to cut off the rest of God's people to be God's people. But when you got people hiding and losing people and killing people to be God's people, you know something in that spirit is not clean. God have mercy on me today. Apologizing because we're black. Apologizing because the world hates us because of who God created us to be. Royal nations, holy priesthood, peculiar people. Mark Twain said, who are these people? What is their immortality that we can't get rid of their damn ass? Asia, Persia, Russia, everybody done came up against these people. And look at us. Winston Churchill said, the most formidable people I've ever seen to grace the face of the earth. Paraphrasing here. He said something like that, y'all. Like we was the most finest, formidable people on the face of the earth. And here Whoopi is apologizing because of that. When are we going to get sick of apologizing because of who we are? Hell, if they can't take us, stop trying to control us. Stop trying to integrate with us. You have your government. You have your way of life. And let us have ours. Hell, we built up your life. I'm sure we can build up our own again. The one that you took. The Christians. The Abrahamic covenant. Yeah, okay. So let's see what Whoopi says in this. And I'm going to leave it here. I'm going to end here with this, guys. And hopefully we will be done with this whole Whoopi, Holocaust, Hitler, Jewish, Israeli. All I want to know is if God called you by name, why would you change it from the Israelites to Israelis? That's all I want to know, guys. And I'm not going to shut up until you answer me, please. It's a simple question. But when they start answering questions, remember when people lie, they have to tell another lie to cover another lie to cover another. You know how many lies these people done told and covered up and want you to get retrained and educated by them? And you can't even ask them a question? Like, why did you change your name from Israelites to Israeli? God said, if my people who are called by my name should humble themselves, seek me, pray, turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and heal their land. You won't answer my question. Why did you change your name to Israeli? Exactly. Quote, I said something that I feel a responsibility for not leaving unexamined because my words upset so many people. The devil, you damn right. The wicked people of this world, the children of disobedience, according to Ephesians 2:2, which was never my intention. It is my intention to ruffle the tail. It is my intention to shake up a little conversation. It is my intention to get you to answer a damn question. Goldberg said, quote, I understand why now, and for that I am deeply, deeply grateful because the information I got was really helpful and it helped me understand some different things. And if this doesn't sound like some old slave bowing down to master, I don't know what is. I don't have no deepful gratefulness for any of this right now, because these people, whoever they are, according to the Bible, they're not of God. According to history, some people around here still in the word Holocaust, which was goodly and godly at one point, attaching it to wickedness and evil. And we're just going to sit back and not question this? There's so many holes in this story, and we're not going to examine any of them? So, Whoopi, I am very sorry that you had to go through what you went through, but I'm even more sorrier that you have to apologize as many times as you did, have to go and explain yourselves as much as you did, had to tuck your tail between your head and feel like a little kid and a puppy being patted on the back and tapped on the head and all this other stuff. I am so sorry you had to do that because you couldn't say 3 words. Not about race. Generally, most things in this world will be, but it's more spiritual. It's more God. It's more of a God thing when it comes to the Israelis and the hidden Israelites, the lost tribes of Israel. Okay, and for that, you do not have to apologize. Let me get one more here, y'all, then y'all could go on. It says, quote, I said the Holocaust wasn't about race and was instead about man's inhumanity to man, Goldberg added. But it is indeed about race because Hitler and the Nazis considered Jews to be an inferior race. No, they considered the Israelites to be a superior race. And that's why we cause so much hell in that Bible. And that's why we catch so much hell today. She continued, now words matter and mine are no exception. I regret my comments. And this is how the devil, the enemies, the jinns of the world want most black people and children of Israel and Israelites and the indigenous aboriginal people of the world to feel inferior. Now let me tell you something. If the white Jewish people, the Israelis, were inferior to Hitler, so be it. We got black people inferior to black people, and you don't see us running around here killing them up, for the most part. Because some black people do it too. To have their positions and to live and to be amongst the elitists and the white people of the world who they think are superior than them for some reason. They will cut another brother or sister down in order for them to rise. Absolutely. They will hinder people from promotions and living and better jobs for the most part. It's done in our community, and black people say they can't be racist. They have their own entities working against other people in the black community. Oh, yes, they do. Oh, yes, we do. But nothing like what Hitler's over here doing. And you know what? Spirit says a lot of people felt sorry for what happened during the alleged Holocaust. And I say alleged Holocaust because you can call it murder, homicide, 6 million people. But to take a godly word like Holocaust prior to all this happening and attach it to something wicked and evil is crazy. But what you can do is sit down and retrain them. Sit down and teach them something. Don't go back on your word. God said, I will never leave you nor forsake you. But when you keep running around here apologizing, being regretful, letting other people dictate what you say and what you don't say, how you say it, when you say it, we not gonna get nowhere. This is oppression at its greatest. Another race, even though they don't physically, let me tell you something about Israel. There's some people over there doing a lot of wicked things to people around the world, okay? You better believe it. Now, it goes on, y'all. I might have lost my train of thought with one of the things I was going to say. Hopefully it come back to me. But after her on-air apology, Goldberg hosted a discussion with Anti-Defamation League President Jonathan Greenblatt. Greenblatt later said on Twitter that he accepted Goldberg's apology. Well, when the hell can I accept yours, Greenblatt? When the hell am I going to accept the people who did the children of Israel wrong for the people of Israel, the Israelis, to be over there where they are today? Who is going to give us an apology? Because the Bible said that these people are going to attach themselves to the name of God. Who's going to apologize for that? Who's going to apologize for the way the religion is of the world? Baby, let me tell you, there's a lot of displaced souls in the world. A lot of lost souls, according to Christianity, in this world because of what people have conspired to do against God. I see a word, ignorance. Hold on. Others, however, came to Goldberg's defense and noted that her comments were made out of ignorance, not malice. My God, when are they going to stop? Anytime you speak the truth, you're ignorant now. God says people perish for lack of knowledge. Knowledge is information. And when sometimes people don't have the right information, they can be ignorant. But for another race to be telling you you're ignorant because of a lie they're living and the truth being not told, it's ridiculous to me. One ABC News staff told CNN that Goldberg had apologized and appeared to learn from her mistake. That ain't no mistake. You can say something happened not because of race. Where is the mistake at in that? Which they believe was key in evaluating whether to accept her apology. So here we go right here. Quote, when you have 5 women discussing complex topics in 5-minute segments on unscripted live TV, sometimes things come out the wrong way, Navarro said. We are human and make mistakes. The difference between us and others is we acknowledge it and try to correct it. Whoopi clarified and apologized without caveats. Ultimately, however, after staying silent for most of the day, Godwin notified employees that she had made the decision to take disciplinary action. Always after you humiliate yourself, you run around and apologize, you kiss ass, you shovel up shit and do whatever else these people want you to do, and they still penalize you and treat you like dirt and disciplinary you. Who are these people? Are they God? Then why can't they be spoken against? Why can't they be spoken to? Why can't they speak with us? Instead of trying to feel superior to us. Isn't that what Hitler said he went out to get the other people for? Because those people were inferior? So isn't that why they coming after us? Because they tried and have succeeded in some way to make us inferior to them? Oh, there's still Hitlers in the land, honey. Taking out cruel and inhumane punishments on people because they have reduced us to be inferior. Mentally, emotionally, financially, and because allegedly they cause you to be poor or cause you to live a inferior life, they have a right to come after you, according to Hitler. And you don't think they have the same mindset as Hitler? And with that being said, you all let me know what you think about this whole entire Whoopi Goldberg, Hitler, Israelis, Israelites, so on, and so forth. Now, this is the article I believe we're coming into, where timeline events. Following the appointment of Adolf Hitler, German Chancellor, on January 30th, 1933, the Nazi state, also referred to as the Third Reich, quickly became a regime in which citizens had no guaranteed basic rights. The Nazis' rise to power brought an end to the Weimar Republic, the German parliamentary democracy established after World War I. In 1933, the regiment established the first concentration camps, imprisoning its political opponents, homosexuals, Jehovah's Witnesses, and others classified as dangerous Israelites. They'll leave us out, but we are a political opponent. There's a whole lot of homosexuals in our community. There's a whole lot of Jehovah's Witnesses running around here, and others classified as dangerous. Danger! Extensive propaganda was used to spread the Nazis' party's racist goals and ideas. During the first 6 years of Hitler's dictatorship, German Jews felt the effects of more than 400 decrees and regulations that restricted all aspects of their public and private lives. Alright? So this has to be it, guys. I want you to see the word bastard for yourself, and then we can go ahead and wrap this up. Don't let the bastards win. Who would they be talking about? They were actually at war with other white people over in their neck of the woods, considered to be the Jews of today. How the Diary of a Man Who Convinced Hitler That Jews Were a Threat was found in New York, in my state, y'all, okay? The Diary of Alfred Rosenberg, a Nazi terrorist whose views on race are thought to have helped incite Hitler's persecution of Jews, vanished after its author was hanged. This article was written March 31st, 2016. And basically, I'm going to leave the link down below. But for this article and for this man to have incited Hitler, they were good friends allegedly at some point in time, to call them bastards. Hitler himself, as I started off in the beginning of this video, had at some point, and I do not have the receipt, it's in one of my videos. I've talked about it hundreds of thousands of times on this channel. I just can't remember, guys. I've been going through so much personally that I don't have clarity as to where that receipt is right now, but I'm not lying to you. For this article and Alfred Rosenberg to call people bastards, you know Hitler. It's just like if you say the word nigger. Oh, you know your family's saying it at home, white people. You know what I'm saying? You know you're using it on a regular basis when we ain't listening and looking, and it should be all right. Just like Whoopi saying Holocaust was not about race and it should not be no problem. Why is there problems when white people say nigger? I just, come on, y'all. This country, this world is so offensive, so sensitive, and just so passive when it comes to having conversations that need to be held. And we don't need to be holding each other like babies and pampering and sugarcoating and powder and petting. We need to stand up and have the conversations. Adolf Hitler and Alfred Rosenberg did. Both Nazis. The United States Holocaust Memorial Museum. For almost 6 decades, it was missing. All 400 plus revealing handwritten pages. The Diary of Alfred Rosenberg, a Nazi theorist whose views on race are thought to have helped incite Hitler's persecution of Jews. Which Jews? Black Jews, white Jews, what Jews? Vanished after its author was convicted of war crimes and hanged in Nuremberg in 1946. So how did it end up in New York State, right? This is a good topic to get into. But this is looking like the man. I don't know. We're not getting into that. Mainly, I came to this article because I wanted you guys to see how the word bastard is being used in reference to the white Jews over in Israel that Whoopi said was not about race. Now, this man, Alfred Rosenberg, is saying his views on race are thought to have helped incite Hitler's persecution of the Jews. And race is definitely more so. It ain't even about black and white, y'all. It's about inferiority and superiority. That's what I believe defines race in their minds. Because for them to be white in the White House, in the Vatican, they need black people and other races just to vote them in. So you can't really tell me it's about race, but yet you still go out and vote for these racist people. Allegedly. Come on now. Y'all gotta begin to make it make sense, okay? Whoopi tried, Nick tried, Professor Griff tried, and so many other people tried. But honey, we doing it over here. There's no need for us to try. God has revealed to us some truth in this land, and all we have to do is get the right people to come have the conversation with us. But the same people that need to have the conversation with us are the same people that make Whoopi feel inferior when they chastise her and disciplinize her and discipline her on national TV to apologize, retract her statements, go get educated. She's 60-something odd years old. I'm sure she's educated. The woman says she's a Jew. I'm sure she knows what's going on when it comes to the religion of the world and the people thereof. I'm almost certain. When Nick Cannon has all these shows on television, and then you got to sit down with a rabbi who allegedly, stole the identity or the race of the black Jews prior to them, the original ones, the Hebrew Jews. So race is being depicted by skin color for some people, and then by, I want to say, financial status. Let's just say inferiority and superiority. And with that being said, let me know what you think about this whole entire Whoopi said 3 words, not about race, and it turned into her losing her job for 2 weeks, being disciplined, having to go make all these tours around town and on different people's podcasts and shows to explain herself or not, and to apologize and to just be humiliated and not be able to be a grown woman and say what you feel without people doing exactly what she said that it was about in the beginning. Man, inhumanity to man. Are these people being inhumane to Whoopi as they try to get her to retract and redact her statements? Hell, the damage is done. People done heard it, and people are going to do with it what they want to do with it, y'all. But what I'm going to do right now is ask you guys to comment down below, share this video, subscribe to this channel if you like this kind of content. Like I said, I don't come at anybody but the enemy of God. And if that happens to be you, so be it. I'm not backing down from the fight, okay? With that being said, may God bless you, keep you, make his face to shine upon you, be gracious unto you, lift up his face and countenance to rest on you, and may his shalom peace be in you, on you, and all around you. And with that being said, if you guys want to know about the Jews, please, and God, period, please watch my playlist called The Morning Read. And there's a lot of answers, a lot of truth, and a lot of conversation. Y'all can come over here and try to bow me down like a little dog and pet me on the head and tell me to take it all back. And I'm going to ask you why. Why don't you take back what you did? Why don't you take back what you said? Why don't you take back your lies? Why don't you take back your man inhumanity against man mentality? Why don't you take that back? Why don't you treat people good? Why do you do what you do to black people? Why did you mock God? Why did you deceive God? Why did you deceive God's people? See, I have answered questions that need answering. Thanks be to God, but I need you to answer them, okay? And I'm dead ass. And with that being said, shalom, everybody. God bless you. Here is, again, yet some proof that Alfred Rosenberg, who may have incited Hitler's persecution of the Jews, vanished after the author was hung. This is the diary of this man, and the whole article is "Don't Let the Bastards Win." Who would be those bastards? Another race coming up under the fictitious guise of them being the children of Israel, the Israelites. Right? Appearing to be inferior to other races. Now that's white on. I knew it existed. Y'all know it exists. And we just found out it exists if you didn't, right? But again, depending on whose views you're looking at, people view race differently. And mainly with white supremacy, race is against poor, inferior people whom they pretty much destroyed the cultivation and land around these people, bringing them down to their knees in poverty, in the mindset of begging and lack and want. And of course, at that point in time, people are going to look inferior to you after you done gave somebody a religion called Christianity, told us to turn the other cheek when y'all rode in like Yankee Doodle and stole up the whole damn land. Turkeys, corn, feathers, and every dang on thing, okay? Let me know what you think about this entire Hitler whoopee, inferiority, superiority, Alfred Rosenberg diary thereof that may have incited Hitler to do what he did. The word Holocaust that actually did not mean a mass murder against 6 million people and other people. It actually meant a goodly, godly thing. What do y'all think about the word Holocaust and where it really originally originated from? Man, oh man, oh man. And with that being said, God bless you all. I will see you on the next live upload and or premiere. And if I haven't asked you already, please subscribe, like, share, comment on this video, y'all, so that it can get in the algorithms. Cause I'm telling you, if it ever do make a way and someone asks me why, I'm not going to be afraid to tell them. And I'm not apologizing. I'm not taking anything back, y'all. Our truth is our truth. Your lies is your lies. And at the end of the day, until we sit down and talk about it, we ain't going to get nowhere. And if you don't make them sit down and talk about it, eventually they're going to keep running with this land, running with their ideology, running around here making everybody apologize because they're afraid of their lies being exposed. Shalom.